Welcome to another school year. And of course, you probably have a million questions of what you're supposed to be doing, when, and where. First part is we'll be doing a lot of information online, so you guys will get to watch YouTube videos in class or something, depending on how we're going to do things. A lot of this is so you can do things at home and have the advantage of working on some of the stuff at your own time where your friends aren't laughing at you when you say, can you back it up and show me one more time? First of all, if you notice in your screen, I have a web page that says mrashleman.weebly.com. This is where you're going to be starting to go through things, and you will find, like right now, there's the web page or the page that shows you the initial part where you find your resources, and it gives you an idea where to do this, and a not so gentle reminder on grades at the bottom, which is basically we are 70% summative, 30% formative, and if you forget to do the formative stuff, you could have A's and B's on your finals and all your tests and be failing the course. Now on the web page, if you notice, you have upper left corner, there is a submenu that allows you to go to stuff. The nice thing is I already popped them up here. Here is one called Study Skills, which also goes through your expectations that it's a place of learning. You got to let the other people talk, get to learn, show up ready, be in the right seats. Safety, if I have to say halt, stop, or freeze, you better stop in a hurry because it's a laboratory and somebody might have a sharp object and you're about to get poked and that might hurt. So when I say freeze it, you need to do it. The grading policy, as you should know, is 70% from summative, 30% from formative, and those that forget to do the formative, you're going to be unhappy because I go through the math here in some detail and you can read it to show you can't get from here to there. Attendance, you need to do this. We will be using Cornell style notes, which I will go through in a different lesson. Phones, hats, items of distraction. It's against the school rules. Just don't bring them here. When I need your attention, I'm going to hold up a hand. Everybody has to stop and look because, like I said, there might be something important. Procedure within the class. The bell does not dismiss the class. The bell may ring. Class isn't over until I say it is. So you need to make sure you're cleaned up. You need to use the Cornell style notes. I have another video on how to use the Cornell style notes. The quick and important part is it causes a 10 to 80% increase in your grades. If you're getting a 15%, you could probably use that 80% increase. Obviously, if you have a 90%, you can't go up much more than 10. Page kind of looks like that. We'll go through that in the Cornell lesson, but you just divide the sheet across the top, make a Q column, the normal notes that you take, and at the end of the class you make a summary. By remembering where to put what in the box, that actually helps you learn better. There's a rubric for the labs at the bottom of this page. On the math type skills, I have all kinds of links to things that if you say, well, I don't know how to use a graph, or I don't know how to use this and that, and there'll be lots of lessons that send you. We will be using Vernier software as we go through this, which hooks up to the laptops, which we'll use in class, to show you how to do it. If you'd like to have your own copy, there's a link to a free copy at home so you can look at your homework and just play with it. It can be fun. For those who don't know how to use Excel or other things, here's some links to how to use it. And if you don't have Microsoft Office, because it is a $300 program, OpenOffice is a free program. Download it, and you can save it as a Word file to turn it into me. Plagiarism bad, and if you click here, you learn how not to get into trouble. It's not that difficult. Tell me where you got it from. On the Cornell note taking system, we have a whole page here for how to do it, and we will have another video and lesson on how to do this. And there is a rubric that shows you. The first part for putting your name on, it's up to 5 marks. You take the notes, you got another 3 marks there. You thought of some questions before and after class. The summary is worth the 10 marks. So that's where all the brains are. So if you used your brains, you get all your points. And once again, a little math lesson on how it does it. The other thing you're going to have to be using, on the Elko County School District side, you've seen this before, you notice they're changing it. We have this new thing called Canvas, not Campus. And you have to click over here to log in. Now I've gone to all the trouble of logging in already, and on here will come, you need to click on it. So for physical science, semester 1, my class, here's the syllabus that tells us what we're doing, when and where, and approximately when we're having the test, so you can keep track of this. If you get stuck and need more help, Hippocampus, which is a link on here, is also available to pull up different courses and all kinds of information, because sometimes you look at it and you go, I still don't get it, need more help. I have some links on the web page, on my Mr. Ashleman site. This is one of them that shows you some basic algebra skills, so you can see it. Here's another one that's talking about what's going on. I'll have a quick video on the basic rules of algebra, which is basically do the opposite. If I want to move one thing to the other side, I have to do the opposite. It's 2 times x. Well, if I want to get rid of the x, I need to divide both sides by x because these two are multiplied. We will be using a thing called plickers. So there'll be a question put up on the board for you to look at, and then what you are to do is you pick your answer A, B, C, or D. The way the class looks is you'll be holding up a card, and these funny shapes actually tell my iPhone, or whatever phone I'm using at the time, whether or not you decided A, B, or C. If you look here, here's what a plicker card looked like if the computer will focus in on it. I'm sure it'll get there eventually. And if I rotate it, it looks different. You can see where it says the letter D here. That means you chose that answer. If you hold it this way, there's the letter A. Now this is card number 1. Different cards have different shaped things. Here's answer B. So as you can see with these people, they were holding them up, and very quickly I can throw a question up on the board like this. At rate at which velocity change is called. Is it speed, vectors, acceleration, or motion? You decide what you want to call it and pick your answer. We will also be using Quizlet, and I have some pages up there. You'll need to, and at some point you'll be required to log in. And here's some lessons on Newton's 3 laws. We use this when you need to memorize something. We don't use it for deep thinking questions. And then of course we often publish and everything and all that stuff. So that's basically the easy part for all this. And if you have questions, go ahead and ask.